Warning: a homeless boy exposes an incredible secret that changes a millionaire's life forever. In the heart of the city, 12-year-old Sam woke up to the sharp morning sun creeping through cracks between two abandoned buildings. He pulled his worn-out blanket closer, a patchwork of spots telling tales of countless nights spent alone. The city buzzed with life around him, honking cars, shouting vendors, and the distant rhythm of music escaping an open window. This was the cacophony of hope and despair. Sam felt invisible among the throng, dodging hurried footsteps and oblivious stares, clutching a flickering flame of hope ignited by dreams of family. Each day, Sam fought to fill his belly. Scavenging became an art form. Old food wrappers were like treasure maps leading to forgotten meals. He'd weave through alleyways, razor-thin margins separating him from survival. On days when the sun shone too harshly, he found shelter beneath the rusty awnings of closed shops, imagining they were castles. Each night before sleep claimed him, Sam whispered his dreams into the ether. Mom, Dad, I'm looking for you. He hid letters beneath the rubble, his heart tied to every word he wrote, prayers scribbled for characters alive in his dreams. Meanwhile, high above the bustling streets, in a plush penthouse suite, Michael Reynolds stared at his reflection in floor-to-ceiling windows, his empire just a facade. The billionaire had the world at his feet, but felt the weight of impending bankruptcy pressing on his chest like an iron vice. A tech mogul surrounded by glamour, yet entangled in betrayal. His once trusted partners were now shadows looming over success. The city painted a stark picture, two worlds connected but miles apart. While Sam scavenged, Michael scrolled through articles depicting social divides that deepened with each passing day. He felt isolated, trapped in his gilded cage, all while the real lives of real people escaped him. The worlds of Sam and Michael crashed together one fateful morning when Sam stumbled upon discarded papers in the alley. The dull thud against his foot stopped him. Curiosity piqued. He bent down and uncovered a crumpled bank statement. Cryptic hints lay within an inheritance tied to secrets that could upend Michael's life. Words swam before his eyes, whispering promises of family. Sam's breath hitched a chance to find his parents. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. As he delved deeper into the mystery, one step at a time, Sam uncovered every thread that tied him to the family he longed for and the man who had forgotten his roots. Michael, too, felt an awakening. Each revelation held a mirror to his life, amplifying the guilt that had settled into his bones. Sam's resilience stood in stark contrast to his own hesitance. Every line he read soared through him like a prayer. With mounting tension, their stories intertwined, layered with secrets they both wielded. Could Michael become the family Sam had sought? Or would Sam's discovery expose Michael's hidden past, sending shockwaves through the very foundation of his empire? As hope flickered between them like a candle fighting the wind, the streets whispered of change, the kind that could reshape everything. The city pulsed with possibilities, each corner brimming with unanswered questions. Would redemption find its way through the cracks that separated their worlds, or would the wall between them continue to grow? Sam clutched the crumpled bank statement tightly, the paper warm against his palm. Heart racing, he had never felt such urgency. The ink felt alive, pulsating with promise. He scanned the document again, looking for details that could lead him closer to the family he'd been chasing in every shadow and sound. The words inheritance and beneficiary danced through his thoughts like a melody he didn't fully understand, but knew he needed to learn. His mind darted to Michael, the man who seemed worlds away. What kind of person was he? Would he even care about Sam's discoveries? Perhaps he was the key that could unlock everything. He glanced around the alley. the harsh realities of his surroundings sharpening his focus. He had to find Michael, but the thought of approaching someone so wealthy made the little hope flicker inside him. Meanwhile, high above in his penthouse, Michael was also wrestling with thoughts of change. Each new revelation from the crinkled papers taunted him, stirring old memories he'd long suppressed. The feeling in his gut was sharp, a mixture of excitement and dread. He knew there were parts of his story hidden deep in shadows, parts he wished to forget. Could this boy really unwelcome his past back into his life? Sitting in an extravagant leather chair, Michael rubbed his temples, trying to make sense of it all. The bank statement was new, and so too was the feeling of being drawn to a world that seemed to long for him. He pulled his phone from his pocket, staring at it as if it held the answers. Should he seek out this Sam? Or was it better to bury what memories still lingered? As the sun climbed higher in the sky, Sam made his way toward the towering glass buildings, a landscape of stone and steel. He wanted to blend in, to vanish into the bustling crowd, yet his heart felt like a drum echoing inside him. When he finally reached Michael's office building, the weight of the world pressed in on him. He squinted against the bright reflections bouncing off the glass, feeling small and out of place. It was a war of confidence. Would he even be allowed inside? Did he look like a boy who belonged in a world of suits and power? With each step, doubt attacked him, but he thought of his parents, of the warmth he yearned for in his life. Sam drew in a deep breath, squaring his shoulders. He could do this. He had come too far to turn back now. He approached the lobby, the luxurious surroundings wrapping around him like a foreign cloak. "Can I help you?" a receptionist asked, her eyes flicking from his worn clothes to his determined expression. "I need to speak to Mr. Reynolds," he stuttered, his voice barely audible over the hum of the busy office. "Do you have an appointment?" "No." He shook his head, the truth hinging on his tongue, nearly choking him. "We can't allow a wait." The voice came from behind him, unexpected and booming. Michael emerged from the elevator, looking every bit the part of a powerful man shrouded in luxury. His gaze landed on Sam, and in that moment, everything shifted. As Michael approached, confusion washed over his features. Who was this boy, and why did something flicker inside him at the sight of Sam's hopeful brown eyes? "Can I help you?" he asked, knuckles white from gripping the edge of the desk as he tried to hold on to composure. "I think I found something about your family," Sam managed, words tumbling out as if they had weight. In that instant, the air crackled with possibilities. Two lives poised to intertwine, ready to reveal secrets behind walls that had stood for too long. What would happen when the truth began to unravel? As Michael's gaze locked onto Sam S., a moment of realization flickered. Would he choose to confront his past or continue hiding? The tension hung thick and electric between them, a silent question begging for answers. Michael's brow furrowed, the weight of Sam's words crashing over him like a wave. "About my family? What do you mean?" His voice was steady, but the urgency in his tone betrayed a hint of vulnerability. Sam swallowed hard, feeling the stakes rising. I think they're money. An inheritance. Your inheritance." The word lingered in the air, heavy and surreal. Michael's expression shifted, uncertainty mingling with intrigue. "Why are you telling me this? How do you know?" "I found this." Sam shuffled through his worn backpack, pulling out the crumpled bank statement and holding it out, the paper trembling slightly in his grip. "It has your name on it. I thought maybe it could help you understand more about where you come from." "About what's yours?" Michael's fingers brushed against the edge of the statement, and for a heartbeat, it felt as if time paused. There was no denying the thrill sparking in him, accompanied by an unmistakable pang of dread. "Why would you care about my life, kid? You don't even know me." "I know enough," Sam replied, the fire in his voice igniting a sense of purpose. "You're wealthy. You have everything, but it feels like you're missing something important, something that has kept away. Just like me. I know what it's like to feel lost, to search for something bigger." Silence enveloped them as the world continued to buzz around them. Michael stared into Sam's eyes, seeing something fierce and fragile within those deep pools. The words that had haunted him for years echoed back desire for connection, the need to belong. He took a step closer, filling the gap between their worlds. You really think this could matter? That it could change anything? It could. Sam's voice held a steadiness he didn't entirely feel. It could explain who you are, why your family hid things from you, and maybe it could help you understand your past. Michael clenched his fists, battling against the tidal wave of emotion crashing inside him. And you? What do you want from me? Just a chance. I want to find my family, and maybe you want to find yours. The bravado carried a hint of desperation, and Sam's heart raced, ready to break free from the shadows in which he spent too long. For a moment, something flickered in Michael's eyes: recognition, empathy, a longing. If what you say is true, this could cause a storm. A lot could change. Are you prepared for that? More than anything, Sam answered, his voice firm yet filled with uncertainty. We both deserve to know the truth. Whatever it is. Michael studied him, allowing the implications to sink in. The weight of generations could rest on a single choice. He felt an instinctual pull toward this boy, who reflected pieces of his own struggles and hopes. All right, let us find out together. Sam's breath hitched, joy mixing with a hint of disbelief. You mean it? You'll help? Yes, Michael replied, though a flicker of doubt crossed his mind. The past was never easy to unearth, but you have to understand, this journey won't just lead to answers. It might also lead us to things we aren't ready to face. Facing the truth is better than staying in the dark, Sam replied defiantly, a newfound flame of hope igniting his spirit. As they shook hands, sealing their uncharted alliance, neither truly understood the emotional tempest they were about to unleash. Secrets buried in the depths of family history and unspoken truths waited just beyond their grasp. Let us get to work, Sam said, a brave grin breaking across his face. Just as they turned to walk out of the towering building, a voice cut through the air, sharp and accusatory. Michael, what are you doing with that kid? They both turned, startled by a figure approaching them. It was a familiar face, one that brought a lingering darkness back to Michael's heart. You're making a mistake if you think this boy is worth your time, the woman said coldly. Michael's instincts flared, the memory of his past echoing in the confrontation. Was he somehow repeating his mistakes, about to lose everything again? What do you want? He asked, feeling the tension wrap around them like a vice. Something I should have settled long ago, she said, eyes narrowing. And you're in my way. The storm was brewing danger, revelations, and the line between past and future blurred. Would they both emerge unscathed? Or was this the beginning of a battle neither expected? Michael's heart raced as the woman stepped closer, her presence commanding and filled with unyielding authority. He felt Sam instinctively edged back, the tension palpably rising around them. She looked at Sam with a mix of disdain and concern, as if her very existence could shatter the fragile bond they had just formed. Stay out of this, Michael warned, taking a protective stance. The air crackled with unspoken words, memories lacing through his mind like arrows finding their mark. What? Are you going to protect him now? Her voice dripped with sarcasm, yet beneath the surface, there was an unmistakable edge of fright. You think he is really worth any of this? You don't know him. I know enough. Michael shot back, the words spilling out like flames. I'm done letting you dictate my choices. You can't keep me from finding out who I am. Her eyes narrowed, fixing into a piercing gaze that made him question his own resolve. You know nothing about the past you're digging into. You'll only find pain. Pain. The word echoed painfully in Michael's chest, intertwining with memories he tried to stifle. His family, their secret to tapestry he had spent years unraveling only to discover more knots. I'm not afraid of the truth, he said, voice steadier than he felt. And I'm not backing down from this. The moment hung heavy, a palpable weight of choices made and roads unknown. Sam stood quietly at his side, still processing the surge of adrenaline as he watched the exchange unfold. Michael, maybe we should just know, Michael interrupted, grounding himself. We're doing this together. Whatever it takes. The woman's gaze darted between them, her expression softening just a fraction. "You have no idea what you're getting into," she said, the bite in her voice faltering. "These people are dangerous. They don't play by the same rules." "What do you know about rules?" Sam's voice broke through, filled with newfound determination. "You think he's just going to let you in? We're both sick of being invisible." The woman recoiled slightly, as though struck. The audacity of Sam's words hung in the air, a declaration of strength they both needed. Michael glanced at Sam, his heart swelling with admiration for this kid, brave enough to stand up when it mattered. "Fine," she said, her tone slipping into resignation. "Dig as deep as you want, but when you're standing underneath the weight of your choices, don't say I didn't warn you." With that, she turned sharply, her heels clicking against the floor as she retreated into the shadows. Michael watched her go, feeling the weight lift just slightly. "What has happened?" he muttered, still processing the confrontation. Sam shrugged, a light shadow of worry dancing in his eyes. "I guess we're diving into the deep end now together." Despite the uncertainty, a shared smile broke through the remnants of tension, the promise of camaraderie sparking something brighter. They had a mission, a target, answers that lay just out of reach. And in that moment, they felt less alone. "Where do we even start?" Sam asked, his forehead crinkling in thought. "We start by looking for that inheritance," Michael replied, determination creeping back into his voice. "Every answer begins with a question, and Sam, I have a lot of questions." "Let us not waste time then," Sam said with a grin, his confidence blooming like a flower. "It's adventure time." As they stepped into the bustling street, a world vast and loaded with possibility stretched before them. Each block represented a piece of the puzzle they deemed never known about themselves, and they were both ready to unravel it. But as they turned the corner, destiny seemed to intervene yet again. A silhouette appeared ahead, shrouded in shadows. "Looking for answers?" A voice called out from the darkness, dripping with intrigue. Michael hesitated, a chill creeping down his spine. Was this another obstacle, or perhaps a guide? "Who is there?" he shouted, curiosity overtaking caution. "We're just getting started," the voice whispered, laughter lacing its tone. A flicker of anxiety danced in Sam's eyes while Michael's determination ignited. What lay ahead was uncertain, but as they moved closer, they knew they were on the brink of awakening secrets that could forever alter their lives. What would this stranger reveal, and could it possibly connect to the past they were so desperately trying to uncover? Michael took a step forward, the shadowy figure now sharpening into focus. The night was alive with the sounds of the city, but the world fell silent around them as he locked eyes with the stranger. The man stood confidently, a worn jacket draping over his lean frame. Dark circles marked his eyes, yet a sharp glint flickered within their depths, as if he held secrets not easily shared. "Who are you?" Michael asked, defiance mingling with curiosity. The man chuckled softly, a sound both haunting and welcoming. "Names mean little in the darkness. Call me Leo." He raised a hand, gesturing towards the empty alley beside them. "But if you're looking for answers, I suggest we talk somewhere private." Sam's brow knitted, uncertainty etched on his face. "Michael, do you really think we should? We need all the leads we can get, Sam." Michael shot back, his voice firm. He felt a magnetic pull toward this man, as if Leo's very presence hummed with potential knowledge. "What do we have to lose?" The three of them retreated into the shadowy alley, the weight of the world thickening around them like fog. Leo leaned against the cold brick wall, crossing his arms. "You're searching for an inheritance, right? A family legacy wrapped in secrets?" Michael nodded, the hairs on his arms prickling with anticipation. "How do you know that?" "I know a lot." Leo's smile broadened, revealing a row of cracked teeth. "Tonight, ISNT just about you too, you know. There are many of us caught in this tangled web. You're looking for truth, but truth tends to eat away at the mind before it sets you free." "Enough riddles. Just tell us what you know," Sam interjected, impatience fueling his words. "Short-tempered, are we?" Leo mused, tilting his head. "All right, I'll give you a morsel." He paused and leaned closer, as if sharing a great secret. You're not the first to search for what was lost. There are others, powerful others. If you're not careful, you could find more than just answers. You could lose everything. Michael felt a knot tighten in his stomach. Are you saying we're in danger? Danger is only the tip of the iceberg. Leo's voice danced with intensity. The truth you seek is buried deep, and it's not just waiting for you to uncover it. People will do whatever it takes to keep their histories secret. Sam shifted uncomfortably, a look of dread crossing his face. What does that even mean? Someone has a strong interest in keeping you two away from the past. Leo offered cryptically. I can help you, but it comes at a price. What kind of price? Michael asked, an edge to his voice. Information has a way of costing more than you think. But in this case, Leo's gaze hardened. I need your trust. Can I depend on you? Michael exchanged glances with Sam, feeling the weight of the offer. The stakes were rising, and the air felt thick with tension. What we need to do? First, we draw them out. People will react when they sense their secrets are at risk. You must be ready for anything. With a nod, Michael realized they were standing at the precipice of a storm. A chilling thought crossed his mind. If they were to follow this path, there was no turning back. What do we do next? Sam asked, determination re-emerging in his voice. Leo's eyes glimmered with a knowing spark. You find your inheritance and face the shadows waiting for you. As they stepped out of the alley, Michael felt the weight of the unknown settling around them. Their mission was clear but perilous, and the night held promise and fear in equal measure. Just as they reached the streetlight, a sound echoed behind them, a soft whisper, almost a warning. Be careful what you seek. You might find more than you bargained for. Michael's heart raced again, but this time it was less about fear and more about excitement. What lay ahead was uncharted territory filled with possibility. They were walking into a world that was bigger and darker than they ever imagined. And as they moved forward, a final question loomed in Michael's mind. What were they willing to risk for the truth they so desperately sought? The streets pulsed with life as Michael and Sam stepped away from the alley, anxiety intertwining with anticipation. The city seemed to breathe with them, shadows flickering in the glow of the streetlights. Sam shifted beside Michael, glancing back at the dark alley where Leo had disappeared. What if he guessed right? Sam asked, his voice barely above a whisper. What if we're in over our heads? Michael felt the knot in his stomach and tried to push it down. We won't know unless we dive in. Leo's the first real lead we had. He tightened his jaw, determination surging. We have to trust him. Let us find out what's hidden beneath all these whispers. With a nod, Sam forced a smile, though it didn't quite reach his eyes. Together, they started walking down the street, wondering how far they should go and what they might encounter. The air was thick, charged with the unknown. They turned a corner, and just ahead lay a crumbling old building, the faded remnants of what was once a grand hotel. It matched Leo's clues, and the abandoned structure beckoned like a siren. This must be it, Michael said, feeling a strange mix of dread and excitement. As they approached, cold wind wrapped around them like an unwelcome embrace. The entrance gaped wide, the doors swinging slightly on rusty hinges. Sam hesitated. Are you sure about this? Right behind you, Michael replied, his heart pounding. They stepped inside, the air musty with decades of neglect. Flickering lights cast odd shapes across the walls, reminding them of ghost stories shared around campfires. They passed through a dusty lobby, the memories of faded elegance lingering like an echo. Old chandeliers hung low, barely illuminating their path. What if we find something we shouldn't see? Sam murmured, shifting nervously. Michael felt a rush of confidence. Then we learned. Everything has a story, and I need to know ours. To their left, they spotted a narrow staircase, the wooden steps creaking ominously. Michael's heart raced as he led the way, every sound amplifying the tension between them. Halfway up, something caught his eye, a crumpled piece of paper tucked under the rail. He paused to pick it up. What's that? Sam leaned in, curiosity piqued. Michael unfolded the paper carefully. It was a tattered old map, its corners frayed and stained with age. Handwritten notes filled the margins, hinting at hidden treasures and keys to secrets buried deep. "It looks like directions," he breathed, excitement sparking within him. "Where does it lead?" Sam asked, peering over Michael's shoulder. "Looks like the attic," Michael replied, biting his lip. "If this map is legit, it might just lead us to what we seek." "And if we find nothing?" Sam questioned, a quiver in his voice. Michael swallowed hard, feeling the weight of their venture. "Then we've got something to prove to ourselves at least." They exchanged a tense glance, both knowing the real weight was yet to come. Clutching the map tightly, they ascended into the darkness above, every step echoing their fears and hopes. As they reached the attic, the air shifted. It felt electric, charged with possibilities. The door creaked open to reveal a dusty, derelict space filled with boxes and forgotten memories. Sunlight filtered through broken windows, casting streaks of light across the floor. "Now what?" Sam asked, his voice barely a whisper. Michael scanned the room. "We start looking for anything that connects to my family." His heart raced as he stepped deeper, navigating through piles of discarded items. Suddenly, a loud crash reverberated through the attic, sending a jolt through both boys. The room fell into silence, tension crackling like static in the air. Something was out there, something watching. "Did you hear that?" Sam whispered, eyes wide with fear. "Yeah," Michael replied, his own heart racing. "We need to find out what it is." In that moment, a pair of eyes blinked back at them from the corner of the attic, shimmering in the shadows. Whatever lay hidden was ready to reveal more than just their history. "Stay behind me," Michael ordered, instinct kicking in. They were crossing into uncharted territory, but the pull of the truth was stronger than their fear. "Who are you?" A thin, raspy voice called out from the darkness. As they ventured closer, Michael felt a thrill of danger racing through him. There was no turning back now, no safe place left to retreat. Just as they stepped into the shadows, Michael's breath caught in his throat. What awaited them could change everything. Would they find just answers, or would they uncover something far more dangerous? The figure emerged from the corner, a slight silhouette edged with mystery, illuminated by the flickering light. As Michael and Sam drew closer, they were faced with a boy no older than them, with disheveled hair and clothes that hung limply on his thin frame. His eyes, however, held an unexpected depth. They were bright but guarded, revealing a blend of curiosity and caution. I didn't think anyone would find me here," the boy murmured, voice trembling slightly as he glanced between the two friends. Michael glanced back at Sam, who appeared just as taken aback. "Who are you?" Michael asked, trying to keep his voice steady. "I'm Jamie," the boy replied, taking a hesitant step forward. "I've been living here, just trying to stay hidden. It's safer that way." He looked down, as if ashamed to reveal his circumstances. "Safer from what?" Sam asked, his curiosity overtaking the fear that had clenched his heart moments before. "From the people who come looking for the old stuff," Jamie explained, gesturing vaguely around the attic. "They're not who you think they want more than just junk." "What do you mean?" Michael pressed, stepping closer. "What do you know?" Jamie clenched his jaw and took a breath. "There are stories about this place, locked away in the things people threw out. Secrets that could ruin lives." His voice dropped to a whisper, heavy with warning. "Secrets? Like what?" Sam's eyes widened, eager for answers, yet afraid of what they might mean. "Things about the people who lived here. Rich ones, powerful ones," Jamie said, pausing as if weighing the gravity of his words. "They hid the truth, buried their pasts in this hotel, and I've seen some of it." Michael felt a mix of dread and exhilaration. Hidden truths about his family? Was this the connection he had been searching for? "What did you see?" he asked, adrenaline running high. Jamie hesitated, searching Michael's face for sincerity. "I saw documents, letters, things that tie your family to this place. It's not pretty. If you find them, you might wish you in tea." "It can't be worse than what I already know," Michael replied earnestly, desperation creeping into his tone. "Then you need to be careful. People don't like their secrets uncovered," Jamie warned, turning his gaze toward the shattered window, watching the street below as if expecting someone to appear. "What do you need to do to stay safe?" Sam asked, his voice low. Jamie shrugged. "I'm used to it, but you're trespassing here." He looked between them again, a flash of rebellion igniting in his expression. "If you're going to find the truth, I'll help you, but you have to promise me something in return." Michael met Jamie's gaze, feeling the weight of their venture pressing down on him like the dust motes swirling in the sunlight. "What do you want?" "I just need to know that if you find something, you'll help me too," Jamie said, his voice softening. The plea in his eyes struck a chord deep within Michael's heart. "You don't have to be alone, you know." A moment of vulnerability hung between them. The weight of their uneven lives pressed in, but the possibility of connection offered a flicker of hope. "Okay, we can work together," Michael replied, nodding firmly. "We'll figure this out as a team." "Then let us get started," Jamie said, a hint of determination lighting up his features. "But we have to move fast. There are eyes everywhere." With that, they turned back to the attic, ready to begin their search, united by the shared purpose of uncovering truths that might change everything. As they scoured through boxes filled with dust and cobwebs, each item seemed to hold secret. The air buzzed with anticipation, but outside the attic, the sound of footsteps echoed through the empty corridors, reminding them of the danger lurking just beyond the door. Sam's voice trembled. "What if we can't handle the truth?" Michael swallowed hard, the restless energy coursing through him. "Then we face it together." Just then, a loud bang reverberated from below, shaking the wooden floorboards. Hearts racing, they exchanged terrified glances. It was a reminder that they were not alone in this hidden sanctuary. "What was that?" Jamie yelped, panic escalating within his wide eyes. They had to make a choice. Leave now or plunge deeper into this unfolding mystery. Whatever lay ahead, it was about to change everything for them, and there might be no way to undo it. "Let's go check it out," Michael said, his voice steely with resolve. As they stepped cautiously toward the attic door, the question loomed large in their minds. Would they find answers, or something far more dangerous waiting for them? As they approached the attic door, Michael felt every heartbeat thunder in his ears. Each step felt monumental, filled with tension and a sense of urgency. What if the noise was just their imagination? Or worse, what if it wasn't he? "Stay close," Michael whispered, glancing back at Jamie and Sam, who nodded back with a mix of fear and determination. They couldn't tee back down now, not when they were so close to uncovering something that had the potential to shake their lives to the core. Pushing the door open slowly, it creaked like the accusatory whistle of a ghost. They peered into the dim corridor, shadows dancing along the walls as the faint light from the attic flickered like a nervous breath. The source of the noise was unclear, but a knot tightened in Michael's stomach. "I think we should get out of here," Sam murmured, anxiety bleeding into his voice. "No," Michael replied firmly, locking eyes with Jamie. "We need to find out what is happening. If there are secrets in this place, we need to know, for all our sakes." With a deep breath, they stepped further down the hallway. The musty air hung like a heavy fog, and a chill crept up their spines. Just as they turned the corner, the shadowy outline of a figure caught Michael's eye. The figure seemed to blend into the darkness, standing still like a statue. His heart raced. "Who is there?" Michael called out, his voice louder than he intended. The figure whipped around, and in the soft glow of the corridor light, Michael recognized the face of an older man with wild eyes and a beard that framed his sunken cheeks. There was something unsettling about him, making the hairs on the back of Michael's neck stand on end. "What are you doing here?" the man snapped, taking a step toward them. The urgency in his tone sent a clear signal of danger. "We were just looking around," Michael stammered, but Jamie stepped forward, his voice steady. "We know about the secrets. We can help each other." "Secrets?" The man's expression shifted from anger to skepticism. "What do you know?" Jamie opened his mouth to speak, but Michael cut in, sensing the tension escalate. "There has been something going on in this hotel, and we want to uncover the truth." The man's posture softened, but his eyes remained wary. You don't know what you're getting into. The past is best left buried. People like you, they have a way of getting hurt. Where we find what we're looking for and help you, Jamie urged, stepping even closer, his voice filled with conviction. There was a flicker of hope in his eyes, igniting a fire inside Michael as well. The older man studied them for what felt like an eternity before he finally sighed, backing away slightly. All right, but you need to understand the risks. You may uncover things that will change everything you thought you knew. Are you prepared for that? With their hearts pounding, the three boys exchanged glances again. It felt impossible to back away now. They were already too deep, and the pull of the truth was too strong. Yeah, Michael said, determination spilling over. We're ready. The man beckoned them to follow, leading them further down the hall to a door that looked far older than the rest. This is where it starts, he whispered, trembling slightly, as if the weight of what lay behind it was almost too much to bear. Pushing it open, a rush of cold air greeted them, carrying the scent of mildew and age. Inside lay a trove of forgotten treasures, papers, and old photographs revealing pieces of a puzzle long lost to time. As they stepped inside and the door clicked shut behind them, Michael felt a thrill of fear and excitement. What would they discover in this secret world? Would it be the answers they sought, or something even more unsettling? Are you ready? Jamie asked quietly, his eyes wide and filled with a hunger for the truth. Before Michael could answer, a loud crash echoed from the hallway they had just left, followed by hurried footsteps. Run, the older man shouted, and in that moment, as adrenaline surged and hearts raced, Michael knew they were about to uncover sketches of the past that might rip apart their present, and he wasn't too sure what might await them in the ongoing darkness. Would they emerge changed forever, or would they slip into the shadows from which there was no return? The room slammed shut behind them, echoing the urgency of their situation. Michael's heart raced as he quickly scanned the dim interior. The flickering light from a fragile bulb above barely illuminated the chaos within. Dust motes danced in the air, swirling around old furniture draped in sheets and stacks of boxes that looked ready to topple over. Where do we go? Sam's whisper trembled, eyes wide with fear. Look around. There has to be something here, Michael replied, forcing his voice to steady, urging himself to project confidence. He could feel Jamie's eager presence at his side, the thrill of discovery sparking in his eyes. As they moved deeper into the room, the older man stayed close, his face shadowed with concern. You don't know the things that are hidden here, he trailed off, gripping the door frame with an intensity that made Michael uneasy. Ignoring the chill that crept up his spine, Michael approached a dusty table cluttered with faded photographs and yellowed letters. He picked up one of the photographs, squinting to see its contents. It depicted a family gathered around a table, laughing and enjoying what seemed like a merry occasion. Yet, heartbreak loomed in the edges of the vintage image. The couple in the photo looked happy, yet a sadness hung in the air like a cloud. What do you see? Jamie asked, leaning closer, his breath warm with curiosity. They look familiar, Michael murmured, pulling the picture closer. He squinted, tried to envision the faces. I swear I've seen that woman's face somewhere before. Suddenly, a crash echoed through the hallway again, the sound sharper, more insistent. The older man flinched, breaking the moment. We don't have much time. What do you mean? Sam asked, his voice rising. The man took a deep breath, the weight of the secret burdening his features. This hotel, it's more than just a decaying building. It holds the echoes of lives lost. The past here is restless. You must uncover the truth quickly. Michael turned back to the photographs, flipping through them with trembling fingers. What truth? He demanded. Tell us. The family in those pictures, the man hesitated, as if weighing the dangers of his own revelations. They were taken from here long ago, not by nature, but by darkness. The words hung in the air, heavy and foreboding. Jamie's eyes darted between the man and the images, his mind racing. Darkness? What do you mean? Did they die? Are we in danger? They were taken, the man repeated, voice low and somber. The people who came here didn't leave willingly. The hotel was their prison, and now it's your chance to understand how to break that cycle. A creeping dread slithered into Michael's gut. Break the cycle? What do you want us to do? Find the sacred items hidden within these walls, the ones that bind the past. The man's voice deepened. Only then can we alter our fates. Only then can the shadows be put to rest. As if summoned by their conversation, another crash resonated down the hallway, far more menacing than before. Desperation clawed at Michael's chest. We need to get out of here now. Wait, Jamie shouted, pointing at a glimmer under a pile of crumbling newspapers. Is that one of the items? They shifted the papers aside, revealing an ornate locket, tarnished but unmistakably beautiful. The instant Michael touched it, every hair on his arm stood on end. A haunting whisper passed through his mind, a woman's voice, filled with pain, yet tinged with remembrance. Michael? Jamie's concerned voice broke through his reverie. What did you see? He dropped the locket like it burned him, heart racing. I don't know, but it felt like get ready, the older man warned, glancing back at the door. This may be your last chance. What did the lockets signify? What darkness awaited just beyond the threshold? As the footsteps grew louder, Michael felt time slipping away. They had to make a choice, uncover the truth, or escape before it consumed them all. With a steadying breath, he met Jamie's gaze, and together, they took another step into the unknown. In the dim light of the forgotten room, Michael's heart thudded loudly in his ears. The aged locket lay heavy in his palm, filled with secrets that pulsed like a living thing. A whirlwind of thoughts swirled through his mind. What could it mean? Who had it belong to? Was it part of the truth? They were hunting something to do with the family hidden behind shadows? Michael, we need to move, Sam urged, his tone urgent, eyes darting toward the door. The sound of footsteps was growing louder, an ominous reminder that time was racing against them. Let us find more, Jamie said, driven by newfound determination. If we're going to uncover their stories, we need everything we can find. He pushed back the papers, searching frantically among the remnants of others' lives, revealing memories long swept under the rug. With every treasure, they unearthed a scrap of paper, a photograph, a rusty key. The weight of their mission deepened. Suddenly, a door in the corner of the room creaked open, revealing a staircase spiraling downward into darkness. This might lead to the heart of the building, Michael said, adrenaline surging as he glanced at the others. Should we take the risk? A risk we have to take, Jamie replied, his voice revealing a mixture of fear and excitement. They rushed toward the staircase, each step echoing their shared purpose. The air grew thicker, charged with the weight of the past pressing against them. The flickering light cast eerie shadows, as if the very house was alive and watching their every move as they descended. The world transformed around them, the dusty, faded glamour of the upper hotel giving way to something more raw, untouched. They emerged in a large cellar filled with old trunks, piles of coal, and exposed beams that looked ready to crumble. Faint sounds stirred in the air, whispers or shuffles of movement, but their quest for truth pushed them onward. Then, in the far corner, Michael spotted something shining. He hurried over, heart racing. It was another locket, similar to the one he had found. But this one was different. Its detail was sharp, glinting under the bare bulb. As he reached for it, the air shifted sharply. Michael, look out, Sam shouted, tugging him back just in time as the shadows swirled. An unseen force yanked at the locket, the whispers rising around them into a cacophony of urgency. In that frantic moment, Michael realized the truth. They weren't just unearthing secrets. They were awakening them. This isn't just a hunt for answers. It's a transaction, he said, breathless. We can't ignore the danger. I know, Jamie breathed, determination mingling with fear. But we can do this together. He locked eyes with both Michael and Sam, solidifying their bond in that shared moment of decision. With heightened resolve, Michael carefully picked up the locket, the sensation flooding back. Memories of the past swirled in a tumult, faces of children laughing, solemn gatherings shadowed by deep sorrow. What did you see? Jamie pressed. I feel them, Michael replied, shaken yet invigorated. They wanted to be remembered. We have to finish this for them. The noise above thudded louder, a reminder of their urgency. We need to get out and find answers before this becomes our story too, Sam urged, fear creeping into his voice. Then we need to collect what we can before they come, Jamie echoed, seeking the remnants of the lives they'd uncovered. Panic surged as they scoured the cellar for anything of value. One by one, they filled Jamie's pack with mementos, a doll, dusty letters, and photographs that told of joy and tragedy interwoven. They knew these pieces would reveal truths about their families that had long been hidden, histories aching to break free. Suddenly, the door behind them burst open. Heavy footsteps sounded, and a stern voice called out, echoing their fears. "What are you doing down here?" The three boys froze, dread coiling deep in their stomachs. "Run," Michael shouted, adrenaline propelling them forward as they dashed for the staircase. They scrambled, gasping for breath, stepping over the feet of whatever or whoever loomed in the entrance. Just as they reached the threshold, Michael turned back, instinctively grasping the locket hard in his pocket. "We can't let them keep us from this." With one last glance at the shadows chasing them, they burst into the light of the hotel. They ran, hearts racing, filled with purpose, clutching their discoveries like lifelines against the world. Outside, the street was alive, and the heaviness that had clung to them within the hotel shattered. With every step forward, they felt an undeniable connection to the past they were now reclaiming. They were not only survivors, but seekers of truth. "We did it." Sam breathed heavily, eyes sparkling as relief flooded his face. "We have what we need to uncover their stories. We're going to share these stories," Michael vowed, pulling them close. For all those who couldn't see, and for the first time in their lives, each of them found hope in the fragments of their pasts, finally set free to forge a path toward their own futures. If the shadows of the past could whisper secrets, then the light of their newfound bond would sing stories of resilience and love. "There is so much more to uncover," Jamie declared, eyes shining with determination. "But we won't stop until the truth is out." With that, they stepped into the pulse of the city. Transformed young boys turned into allies, ready to face whatever awaited them, hand in hand, heart to heart. They were now bound by a shared mission, charged with purpose, ready to venture further into the rising dawn of change. Remember, if you want to stay updated on more journeys like this, subscribe immediately to the channel. Don't miss out on the exclusive stories coming your way. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm with your support. We need your voice comment below with your thoughts and reactions to this ending. And share instantly with at least 5 friends who also need to feel the power of transformation and connection. You need to make your mark by supporting the channel, and this is the moment to show your love. Don't wait not even one more second to join us on this incredible journey.